Hello, everybody. Hi.
Hi. Saying hi, too.
Hi. There's that.
Hello.
How
are you in?
Video suggests we would notice the complete Jurassic Park timeline. What's complicated about that timeline? I think they just go sequentially.
Well, what was first, like the T-Rex or the Brontosaurus? You don't know that.
Yes, we do know that. There's fossil data.
Not according to the Bible.
The Bible says none of them exist.
It's weird that there's a whole chapter in the Bible about dinosaurs aren't real.
I was going to dinosaurs when I was a kid, and I grew up in a very Catholic
don't
house.
Step on the keyboard.
And I was like, the dinosaurs don't show up in the Bible, Mom. And she was like, yeah, they show up. It's like they were. The Bible says the men walk along the beast. Those are the dinosaurs in the Bible. It's like,
we got some museums.
Break my heart or something.
We got some religious-backed museums here in Ohio that your mom would really like. All right, let's see here.
Like I was afraid of stop believing of dinosaurs instead of the Bible. I think the Bible was like.
I don't know if you guys could hear that.
Pretty thin out there.
Thin on the ground. Kitty, don't play with the headphone cable. All right, there's that.
They play with the headphone cable. What's going on? What's the worst thing that can happen? You just gotta buy another.
Party.
Hey, you guys hear me?
All right.
Start
Yum.
cheering.
You guys hear that?
You guys hear me?
Yep.
Start
Yep.
cheering now.
All right.
Twice.
Yeah, I heard it twice.
Yeah, I played it twice. Okay.
Okay. Well, then that's okay.
Yep, I think we're okay then. Mike, you ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I'm gonna count you in.
I did the. I don't know if the rundown is good.
That's good. I mean, I might not do all of that, but
All right.
yeah, it's good. It's helpful.
Starting
Let's do it.
in 5, 4, 3.
Hey, you guys hear me? Start cheering now. Yeah, let's get this over with. Yeah.
Woof woof. Hi, I'm Mike Minotti, and I am a Nintendog.
Hi, I'm Jeff Grubb, and I'm a Nintendog.
We are the last of the Nintendogs.
Woof, woof,
Today, secret Nintendo 64 games. Ocarina of Time is on Nintendo Music again, and the Mount Rushmore of rare games. And to be clear, we mean the developer, not games based on their scarcity or value. Jeff Grubb, how's it going?
It's going pretty good. It's back to work over here, and I like that. I like the work that I do. So,
where are you at?
You know what? I'm over here doing the real work while you're apparently making streams all day, nonstop. I'm doing pretty good. So I'm happy to kind of just be back into the swing of things. Although it was a good vacation. Played some Nintendo games while I was out there. Had Switch 2 with me, and that was good. But yeah, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. Still staying busy, having fun, making all sorts of the contents. We the 20 Hours Pro Skater 3+4 Quick Look went up. We recorded a demo derby that's gonna go up soon. I know people like those. So yeah, we did a good bombcast today. We played Myst. I play Fantasy Life I. We are, in fact, playing the video games, Jeff, and making the content.
Yep, absolutely. It's I heard you saying you might take Fantasy Life I with you onto the Switch 2 from the PC upon which you were playing before. And yeah, I've heard it works pretty good on Switch 2. Although, it works really well on the handhelds as well. Although you did say now you got your Switch 2, you're not playing your handheld PCs as much anymore, and I get it.
Yeah. Yes, I liked my ROG Ally X, but
yeah.
The reason I was doing that is because nothing really runs very well on the Switch anymore, unless it's a Nintendo game, even then sometimes. And now that's not really a problem anymore, so I'm pretty happy just sticking with the Switch 2 when I can.
Yeah, I'm sorry, got distracted by that email from earlier, the email opportunity. That's still open on my computer. I'm like, oh yeah, that thing. yeah, I'm kind of the same way where it's like now that the Switch 2 is here, I'm excited to kind of play anything on it. Donkey Kong Bonanza in a week though. Cannot wait.
Yeah, that's I'm definitely looking forward to that. It kind of feels like Nintendo's even being a little bit quiet in the lead up to that, but there's still some Nintendo stuff to talk about, including these like secret Nintendo 64 games, Jeff, or kind of secret. All this really is. So there was that video from Nintendo not too long ago where they're showing off the new CRT filter option for Nintendo 64 games. And then, when you see that, you can technically see that library of games, but it's super blurred. But people looking at it are pretty sure they see certain games in there, some of which haven't been released on the service yet. And this includes Donkey Kong 64, Forsaken 64, Glover, and Super Smash Brothers, and also maybe Scars, because why the hell not?
Yeah.
I mean, you kind of mentioned this too. Like maybe those games were quote unquote in that library of whoever was recording that footage, and it could have just been a test. I remember when Game Boy Advance was a thing, we knew that they had tested Astro Boy on it or something. I forget how we even knew that, but we never got that Astro. We never got that Astro Boy game, right?
Good point. Yeah. So maybe the same thing's happening here, and yet I'm getting excited. I'm getting my hopes up. I would like to have all these games, especially Scars. That's actually not a bad game. But I think that this is, for the most part, probably going to happen. I mean, Donkey Kong 64, you've been saying for a while, it just makes a ton of sense. Now, maybe it makes less sense here in the lead up to Donkey Kong if they're not, or not, without them doing it before in the lead up to Donkey Kong. I don't know. It would have
made more sense a month. I was surprised we didn't get that. Right? I kept thinking we were obviously going to get that leading up. Well, because when freaking Donkey Kong Returns happened, they like made a big deal of making sure we got all the Donkey Kong Land games.
Yeah.
Right? And I was like, okay, that's kind of neat, but obviously people want 64. And I think, some people are like, oh, maybe they're weird about rare games, but they're not weird about rare games. There's lots of rare games on the Nintendo 64 NSO app. We have GoldenEye, right? Jet Force, even stuff that is, wasn't necessarily Nintendo IP to start with, like Jet Force Gemini is on there. They could definitely put Donkey Kong 64 on there whenever they want to.
Yep. So I think it will still happen. Maybe they don't want to taint Donkey Kong's image with Donkey Kong 64 before Bonanza is out. I don't think the game is that bad, although I will admit I've not played through it since it came out. So I guess I don't really know the horrors contained within.
I think this is actually an interesting disconnect between like the us's and like our circle and the quote unquote normies. Because I gotta say, Jeff, all my normie friends, they love Donkey Kong 64. They got nothing but nice things to say about that game. I don't really have a strong opinion about the game. I never played that much of it.
Yeah, I mean, I remember being like super duper excited for it. Just like that was it. Oh my God, Rare, the team that did Banjo, is going to do a Donkey Kong platformer 3D. This is the biggest game ever. And it did not live up to the hype for sure. And then it was a real slog at points. That's my memory of it. And then there's some things about it that are very bad, like Beaver Bother, for example, apparently is really bad. But you're right. Not even just normies. There's a slightly younger audience. There's people who are slightly younger than us, like 5 to 10 years younger. They all seem to like it for the most part. So yeah, I don't know. I wonder if they even think about that at Nintendo. Oh, we don't want Donkey Kong 64 out before this game. Probably not. I don't know.
I think so. I do hope we get it soon. I kind of am interested in Forsaken 64.
Yeah, I remember being excited about Forsaken.
Well, this game's so weird because the cover art is just some girl with a heart tattoo on her cheek. And what the game actually is a Descent-like.
It's a Descent-like, yes.
Yeah, Descent being the kind of like 360 total movement first-person shooter thing where you're flying around everywhere.
Flying a ship through like different tunnels. They can go left, right, north and south, but they can also go up and down. You go in any direction. Yeah.
It's one of those, it's not, by all accounts, it's not a bad game. So I'd be pretty interested to try out Forsaken 64. Now that game was rated M. So I feel like they need more games for the rated M version of the N64 app. At least it bothers me that thing's kind of empty. Apparently, there was eventually a T-rated version of this game that released, though. I don't know. So I guess they could do either version
Yeah.
of that. Whenever I look it up, I just see this M-rated version, though, on boxes and whatnot. So I don't know.
Yeah, strange. I don't know.
Yeah. Super Smash Brothers, that's going to happen eventually. It's going to happen before we get Melee, that's for sure.
Yeah. They'll start here, and it'll probably be this and no Melee for a very long time, would be my guess. Yeah, you do wonder. It's like, well, what's taking so long there? And I'm sure they got their reasons. But it's been a while since Smash Brothers Ultimate has been kind of completed, right? Like, yeah, there's been no new updates to that for a year or 2 years.
Oh, very long time, even longer than that.
Longer than that, yeah. Okay.
I mean, Sora was the last character that came out quite a bit ago.
Yeah, that's forever ago. Okay, so yeah, so it definitely feels like this is the dead zone between Smash Brothers. Now's when you would do this, and it's not going to hurt anything all that bad. In fact, it's probably not going to hurt anything at all. So go ahead and pull this ripcord finally. I gotta say, I was like Googling Forsaken, because in my head, forever at that time, I always conflated Descent and Forsaken. In my head, they were the same game. So I Googled it, and I got bummed out because the first result when you Google Forsaken is a Roblox game called Forsaken. And no mention of Shoot Forsaken anywhere on this first page except nowhere. This is a bummer.
That's going to happen to Star Wars or Star Wars Starfighter.
Yeah,
if it hasn't already. I was just doing a stream with my niece, and she's obsessed with a Roblox game called Dress to Impress right now.
Really?
So I was like, yeah, that's her favorite game. It's just this game inside Roblox, and that's just the way it is.
Did you play it with her?
No, she wanted to play Deltarune, actually, which I'm, I guess, I didn't tell her I thought that was more of a real video game. Do you ever see her play it? Like, do you see like the number, like how many people are playing at one time or anything like that? No.
I bet it's like a million.
I bet it's a ton. I bet she's upset because they keep delaying the summer update for it, apparently.
Well, summer's almost over. They better get started.
Glover is interesting because that is actually a very quintessential N64 game to me, Glover. So it makes sense to have there. It's mildly weird because they just released Glover in a somewhat enhanced version on all the platforms, including Switch, not that long ago. So you can't just buy Glover. But that was also true of Turok.
Yeah.
That had a whole Night Dive remaster, and that just also is on NSO. Anyways,
and these deals are probably there's probably like when you're a company making a deal to take an old game like that and update it or whatever, or package it up again, you're probably not paying the extra fee for exclusivity rights to prevent the company from then licensing it to Nintendo to put on their NSO as well. Did you see this message from Sean saying a T-rated version of Forsaken hasn't released? The N64 version has been just changed to T on the ESRB website, which means that they've looked at it recently.
Oh, that's even extra interesting. Well, why the heck would they do that then? If okay, that's what people were trying to tell me. My mistake.
Yeah, it was hard to follow. I agree, but now that clarifies. That's interesting. The word.
I'm almost kind of upset because again, like I hate that the rated M version has like 3 games in it, and I can't organize things nicely. 3 is like even more than I realized. I thought it was just like 2. What are There's
the 3?
Why would Forsaken ever? What is in there? It's GoldenEye, Turok, and something else.
Something else, yeah.
Conquer.
Is Conquer in there? Man,
I think Conquer's in there.
That's yeah.
GoldenEye's rated T. What the hell
is it Perfect Dark? Is Perfect Dark M? Or I think Perfect Dark is T as well.
I don't think Perfect Dark is T. Shadow Man. I forgot. Shadow Man's another game that has an enhanced version you can just buy. It's weird they put Shadow Man. And is Perfect Dark rated M? Conquer's not on NSO.
So you were going to say why was Forsaken ever an M-rated game?
Yeah, what did it do?
I wonder if it's just like one of those things where it's like, this is a lot of shooting, and this lady on the cover is kind of sexy. Let's give it an M rating. I don't know.
Yeah, so I think it's Shadow Man, Perfect Dark, and Turok are the only games in the M+. Or the rated M section of that thing. Right now, there's other ones like
you kind of wanted to get those games deserve some friends. Like put some other games in there.
I mean, it feels like the N64 games haven't exactly been coming fast and furiously, especially now that GameCube's here, and well, we gotta have one of those once a month, and that's already a drip free. It's not like we're having 2 consecutive drip feeds now. It kind of just feels like some of the GameCube stuff is being put in the same spout.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think N64 is in the bucket with Genesis, where it's like, oh my god, we got an update to the Genesis for the first time in every 3 years. Like it's not like that, but it's definitely not in the once a month, once every 2 months situation. So I'm kind of thinking we get a drop of N64 games a couple of times a year, maybe 3 to 4 times a year, something like that, which is a bummer, but they're just not going to do a lot with that library. There's not a lot left that's super simple for them to go through with.
Have you checked out Mario Striker since it got added to the GameCube section?
I've not.
Haven't
No.
yet.
But I've heard bad things about the emulation on there.
Really?
Latency with the button presses and stuff like that. Now maybe that's online. Maybe that's people who are playing, with 4 players all connected to the peer-to-peer, multiplayer session, and that could hurt things. I don't know, but overall, it continues. It seems to be that GameCube emulator is a little bit off from Nintendo. Which, hey, yeah, just go grab Dolphin. That thing works great.
Man, I wonder if they fix the analog sensitivity stuff, because that should just be a slider or a value that you can change. So I don't know. It drives me crazy there. But yeah, I hope we Donkey Kong 64. I'd like to see there. I'm probably just gonna play that on shoot hardware here pretty soon. But original Super Smash Bros. I understand them maybe being weird about Melee for a bit. Although at some point, like, Melee is the most popular GameCube game. If you're gonna have a GameCube NSO, you're gonna have to put Melee on it. Have to is a strong word for Nintendo, I know.
Right.
But
Nintendo never has to do anything, but they're not gonna like re-release Melee, I don't think, ever. So
I don't think they're gonna like remaster and remake Melee. No, like, as much as other people would do that and make money off it happily, I think Nintendo isn't going to remake the older version of their fighting game in that manner. It's not something they do. It's not like they would ever do that with Double Dash for Mario Kart, right?
Right. What is the biggest Nintendo game that you could viably conceive getting a major re-release or remake? Like Ocarina of Time. Is that something that's on the table?
Probably still Ocarina of Time is one that I think, like, a full-on remake and not something that's like, it's kind of a remaster, right? I mean, they did with Metroid Prime. They can call it a remaster, but that was a remake.
Unquestionably a remake. Yeah,
I think Ocarina of Time is probably the answer. They're not going to do it with any of the 16-bit games, right?
No.
Or anything like that. I don't think they're going to remake. They remade Star Fox 64 kind of once with 3D. They're not going to do that again.
Yeah.
I don't even think they're going to do any of the other Zelda games past that. Like, they remastered the other ones, and that was good enough. I don't think they're going to bother remaking Majora's Mask even the way that they would bother remaking Ocarina of Time.
Yep. What about Mario 64? You think they ever do anything with that?
Maybe, but I think that one they're relatively happy with it being that the game.
Them and me both.
Yeah, me too. Honestly, right? So, yep. But yeah, Super Smash Bros. 64. I hope we get that sooner rather than later. I think that game's fun. I think it's a nice thing to have an NSO. I don't go gaga for the original Smash Brothers. That series really did.
I played a ton of it.
Jump started for Melee.
Yeah,
that was super exciting then, for sure. I mean, that was back at a time when just the idea of this kind of weird Nintendo crossover thing was exciting.
Yeah.
The fact that Pikachu and Donkey Kong were in the same game, right? It was wild.
Open up the toy box, getting all the toys out and making them fight. Yep.
Mm-hmm. All right. Ocarina of Time 3D is on Nintendo Music. Speaking of Ocarina of Time, Jeff, I think Ocarina of Time, the Nintendo 64 game, is already on Nintendo Music. Did the 3DS version of Ocarina of Time have different music?
I mean, not in my mind. I guess I'm not great at identifying video game or any music really. So maybe I'm not the best person to ask. But Mike, if you had asked me this before this happened, I'd been like, no, I'm sure that's the exact same soundtrack, maybe slightly different. And maybe that's actually the case here. And for some reason, Nintendo's like, well, for completionist purposes, we'll give you both. It's weird.
I just feel like we've got quite a lot of other Nintendo soundtracks to get to before we're doubling up on Ocarina of Time like this.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
There's so many other 3DS games, I'm sure, even is Fire Emblem getting on there? Maybe is Link Between Worlds on there? Those better be on there. Mm-hmm. Forgetting it seems like a strange thing to me. So again, if they did the audio much, that almost surprised me, because when they did things like Wind Waker HD. They didn't really change the music there, from what I can remember. I'm sure they maybe touched it up or remastered a bit, but it wasn't new arrangements or new recordings or new midis or whatever. So
maybe they had like an extra channel, and I don't know. It was Zelda 64 was the Ocarina of Time on the 64 DD in Japan, like the original Zelda, and it had an extra sound channel.
Oh,
so it's like that.
I
don't think so. So yeah, I don't know. Weird.
Yeah. All right. So that's a bit strange. Yeah, Jeff, we've been talking about that Final Fantasy IX remake, which, would I assume would come out on a Switch 2 to tie it in here.
I mean, it would make sense to announce it at a Direct if that were going to happen, but who knows?
Well, let's turn into that. Do you think there's going to be a Nintendo Direct soon after Donkey Kong comes out?
I'm still leaning toward no. I think we get at this point, it feels like next time we get a Direct, like a full Direct. I suppose there could be any single game Direct, a partner Direct even. But like the big boy Nintendo Direct with all of the big announcements that people are like waiting for or hoping for, or even big updates on games we know about. At this point, it's like maybe that doesn't happen until September at this point. So that would just get us through, because, we're getting through July. This game's going to appear. They have to tell us what's going on with Metroid, but they can do that in the Nintendo Today app. They can do that in a YouTube video. Kind of feels like they will at this point. I don't know. And honestly, if that game comes out in the holidays, they could wait until a September Direct. So, yeah, I'm not really thinking that we're getting one anytime soon here before the end of July. But, there's people who really, really want it and are kind of looking for any reason to believe that that's going to happen. And I haven't heard one way or another. So I don't know. What do you think?
They got to give us that Metroid Prime 4 release date at some point.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. Like I said, they could do that in the Nintendo Today.
You're right.
App.
You're right. They have just an app now. So you're right. They don't have to. I mean, there's got to be at least one more this year, and it's wild to say that because that seems like not much because there's basically half of a year left still, so probably more than that. Real quick, Chris, Jeff, we got a very generous super chat here from Chris Zaka, so I'd like to read it right now.
Please, thank you, Chris.
Thank you very much. What is the genesis for Giant Bomb hosts using the term shoot, as in shoot hot, as an adverb? Thanks for all the awesome content. Thank you so much, Chris. I really appreciate that.
It's carny shit.
So it's actually comes from wrestling, which then came from carnival stuff, where a shoot, it just means that it's real. It's something that's really happening.
It comes from the term straight shooter.
I'm shooting straight with you. So it's a shoot, as opposed to a work, which means, hey, we're working, and since our work is all kind of carny stuff, that's not really a bearded lady, blah blah blah. That's a work, and then that's also in wrestling. So work, fake, shoot, real.
Yep. I'm going to shoot on you, bro.
We're a bunch of carnies, basically.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Thank you for that, Chris. That was awesome.
Yes, thank you, Chris. I know, yeah, it's like, it's hard to say, because there is still some stuff we got to talk about. There's Kirby Air Riders. There is another Hyrule Warriors. And again, all this stuff could be doled out. But I suppose, even if it was just a partner direct, or an indie thing, there's still stuff I want to hear about there. Like Hades 2. Hades 2 is going to have a 1.0 release on Nintendo Switch 2 at some point here. There's still that Hollow Knight Silk Song thingy out there, right? So something's going to go on with that. Yeah, Christian's right. That Fire Emblem remake. Remember that? Yeah. Remember that rumor? We're all pretty sure that game exists. So where is it?
Disappear. It's not here.
Give me my Metroid Prime 2. So it's one of those things, Jeff, where I wouldn't be surprised either way. I wouldn't be surprised if there isn't a Direct anytime soon. And I wouldn't be surprised if there was one like the week after Bonanza launches.
Yeah. I think if they're going to do one, honestly, if they were going to do one, this week might make more sense than anything else. But yeah, the week after Bonanza also, sure. But yeah, it's like things are going to happen fast here over the summer. They got plenty of games coming out. The Gamescom will be here before you know it, things like that. So yeah, I don't know. Kind of feels like if they wanted to do one now would have been a good time. If they're not going to do it now, then let's go ahead and just wait till September or something. They got a ton of stuff kind of right there on the precipice. If they want to have a Direct where they give us all of those dates you just mentioned that we still need to find out because all of them have been confirmed for this year, all those games. That could make sense. And then put like one or two extra things in there and then show off a bunch of third-party partner stuff. That sounds like a Direct to me. I could see them slapping that together, but is that the path they're going to take? I lean towards no.
All right, Jeff, thank you so much. Why don't we take a quick break? We got a bunch of super chats here. We'll do that. Then we'll do our Mount Rushmore of rare games. It's going to be a great time, everybody. Stick around.
All right. Hey, Chef,
Oh.
for the next break,
Yeah,
we
that-
have a contribution from the community.
Okay.
Okay, I can give you the link if you need it.
Sounds good. You said for the next break?
Yeah, for the Mount Rushmore.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Oh, you don't need to set it up now. That's what
Okay.
I meant.
Cool. Gotcha. Let's see here. Google account.
Yeah, folks. For the folks that are on the Discord, you can still give a suggestion for that. Give us the input.
Yep. Go knock yourselves out.
Contribute.
Let's see here.
It's
I need to
only
keep
images though, so.
All right. I am now signed in to YouTube on OBS so I can activate the ad break and stop the other ad breaks that try to automatically happen in the middle of the show. There we
That's
go.
weird.
That's just YouTube, baby. All right. How's everyone doing? I am like halfway back, but also still a little bit discombobulated. I did bring that big CRT into my basement. I carried it by myself. I did not die. That was
Good
pretty
job.
good. Yeah, thank you.
Do you lift it with your legs?
I
What's
lifted it with my
this,
back in a twisting, jerking motion. That's what
that's
what you want to do. Yeah,
It's beautiful.
that's the safest thing you can do. Absolutely. We do record a demo derby for Ultra
Ooh.
Game Players Disc 101.
Exciting.
Yeah,
It sounds like a good shit
it
right
was
there.
some good shit. Yep, absolutely. Although I couldn't get one of the demos to run, and then the other one
Wow.
would either run at 4 frames per second because it was trying to use like emulated software, like software rendering, or it would run at like 2,000 frames per second because of the Voodoo 2 accidentally like tapping into the full power of the 5080.
You gotta lock that those cores.
Yeah, you gotta
baby.
get the VSync going and all that stuff. Yeah, it's kind of difficult with the virtual machine, but yeah, most of the stuff on that disc was just like videos from E3 1997.
Oh, that's cool.
It was a good time.
How nice is a virtual machine? What a beautiful thing.
It's it's really cool to like get this. It's PCEM, and just go into the configuration manager and just choose what you want. So it's like, give me a Pentium 2 300 megahertz, give me a Voodoo 2, give me 500 megabytes of storage or whatever makes sense back then. And that's all. And then you got to install the drivers manually, which is kind of a fun process. It's not what I would want to do a lot, but it's fun.
It's cool.
I'm back.
Mike is back.
Hey, Mike's back. All
Sorry,
right.
sorry, we're talking about virtual machines and computer.
Talk about those
I
VMs.
hate that kind of shit.
I understand.
I wanna have run VMs on my server. That sounds like a cool thing to do. All right, whatever. Let's bring it back. Do you have those super chats, Chef?
I will momentarily. Hang on, let me do that.
There we go.
The problem with having the chat in OBS, which is nice, means I don't have this ready. So just take a second.
Cody, is that a show or is that a movie? Because I heard people talking about that. K-pop Demon Hunters.
K-pop Demon Hunters. I feel like that is a Steam porn game.
Yeah.
I think that's just your brain, brother.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, it's a movie. Okay, cool. I'll watch it then. Add it to my letterbox.
Oh, hang on. Almost there.
It's on Netflix. I do have a Netflix subscription, but
Okay, I'm good.
somehow that shit shows up on my place. All right, let's do it.
All right, we're back, Jeff. Why don't we get to these super chats?
I'm back. Yeah, well, I'm going to read these super chats. Simon from Saskatchewan says, "Loving the Mist stream. Such a great idea. I'm also loving it. I'm having a really good time on that show."
I'm having a ton of fun. We are deep into Myst. It's been a really fun game. We've been making excellent proggies into it. I'm excited to see the end. I'm also like looking forward to Riven. People have really tucked up that Riven remake, so I'm very excited to see.
Yeah, I want to see it for ourselves, and I guess I would like a point of comparison, so I might like watch a little bit of the original Riven and kind of see how they update it. Simon from Saskatchewan returns and says, "Can you please make the art for Mike's DK64 playthrough have his face superimposed on the poster for the hit 90s movie?" I had to move things. For the hit 90s movie Congo. Such a weird poster now. Let me look at this Congo poster.
Congo, man, I remember that movie getting like some hype back in the day.
Yeah, it was.
I just searched for Congo and I got the country.
Yeah, hey, Mike, I did the same thing.
One brain cell.
Yep. Congo, 1995. Oh yeah, there's the big ape's face. Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, we could do that.
All right. Is that Laura Linney? Okay. Anyhow, Simon from Saskatchewan with the hat trick. Christian, please tell me you have the clip of Mike on the last dump truck at 28 minutes and 42 seconds. He sounds scared in ISO. Jeff, what are your thoughts on the squirrel photo? What's the squirrel photo?
I don't remember. Oh, you weren't here with the squirrel with the big nuts?
No. How big were the nuts? And are they nuts upon which a
testicles?
Thank you.
Huh.
Okay, yeah, they're huge.
Should I just Google Congo again to get the answer to this, or
yeah, Google Congo. Make sure you don't get the country this time.
Squirrel.
I don't have
nuts.
I don't have that sound by the way. I'll look that up.
Wow, squirrel's big nuts. I don't know if this is the picture, but this one over here that I'm looking at, independent of everything, also has very large testicles.
I bet it's the same one.
Does it have a big? Do they?
I didn't know like squirrels had like outside testicles. Honestly, I thought that maybe they were.
Either. I thought I
thought like cats or whatever. Right? I don't know.
Are we sure these are real?
Well, what are you looking at? Because like somebody claimed they took the picture of it and sent it to us, the one we got. So maybe you're looking at a different one.
Oh, I guess I should put giant. I'll put giant bomb in there and see if that narrows it down. Yeah. All right. Well, either way, I'm a fan. Squirrels go to town on your nuts.
You like it? Okay.
I like it. Yeah.
Good. All right, good. Cats have outside testicles. I feel like I've never seen cats' balls before.
That's because you've mostly seen neutered cats.
That actually makes sense.
Yep.
Okay. Mystery solved then.
Big Fresh 37 says number 5 on that IGN list. What's number 5
Which
on
IGN
that
list?
Let's see.
What IGN list? What did they do now?
IGN list.
What did they do now? Let's see. I see a Superman review. I see a Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3-4 review. We need more info.
Yeah, IGN.
We have a list.
Top.
List. IGN's done a few lists.
Yeah, they've got a lot of lists here.
It's all on chess, and we love them.
Is it the best video games of 2025 so far? This is from April 1st. I doubt this is it.
Yeah.
Also, it's not in order. All right. Well, if we get an answer to that, chat, help us out here. We'll circle back. Nintendogs says, I'm curious about accessibility options and controller options for the new Tony Hawk game, particularly on Switch 2. Anything that you can mention? There are like mods built into the game, and those are just like cheats. So I guess they're not really mods, but it's like you can have perfect balance and stuff. So if there's something that you struggle with because of any particular issue, they sort of just bypass it. That's probably not exactly what you're looking for. Beyond that, I don't really know. I haven't looked too close into any accessibility option menus or anything like that.
Oh, is it that Nintendo 3D platformers rank thing?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It's one of those things where it's a video and not an article.
It's gotta be like listed somewhere, right?
I would think so, but I think I saw it before and I wanted to see because they tantalize you by making sure you know that Donkey Kong 64 is maybe on this list. That get the people.
Okay, so wait, is number 5 Captain Toad Treasure Tracker?
Look, I know. Well, you like that game so much, you forgot that you beat it and reviewed it, Jeff.
Yes, I was so overwhelmed by its quality. Yeah.
Okay, Michael, get me the link to the list. I feel like this. I feel like this page I'm on that has the video should have a link to the article version. Not to criticize your website, IGN.com.
But I have the list. Are you ready?
I'm ready for it.
Number 11, Donkey Kong 64. Number 10, Super Mario 3D Land. Number 9. Bowser's.
So I gotta just say, it's gonna be wild if 3D Land's on here. Every Mario 3D platformer should be on this list. I feel like. Let's see it.
I mean, why start with 11? Like, is this all of them? Like, are there other 3D?
11 is interesting.
Yeah.
Well, it can't be all of them. Like, I doubt they have Banjo-Kazooie and Tooie and Conker.
Maybe they don't count that as Nintendo anymore.
Okay.
Bowser's
Maybe
Fury
not.
is number 9. 8 is Mario Sunshine. That's crazy. Bowser's Fury is better than Sunshine.
Yeah, it is better than Sunshine.
Kirby and the Forgotten Land at 7.
It's very good.
Mario 3D World at 6. Honorable mentions: Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie. And then number 5 is Captain Toad Treasure Tracker.
Man, it's calling it a 3D platformer, I guess.
There's no
right?
jump button. So no.
There isn't. You can't jump. I forget. You don't jump.
I mean, if you do, it's a very tiny jump. But the whole point is you're supposed to like take the platform. I guess you literally are using platforms to get higher. So maybe it's more of a platformer than any video game. I don't know. Super Mario 64 is number 4. Number 3 is Super Mario Galaxy. Number 2 is Super Mario Galaxy 2, and number 1 is Super Mario Odyssey.
Yeah, that stuff right there is fine.
Yeah, no issues with that.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with like the Banjo and Conker's games aren't technically Nintendo.
I don't really either, but yeah.
Games. Nintendo publishes games. But I mean, I don't think any of them are better than a single Mario 3D platformer either. So
yeah. Also, Bowser's Fury should be higher if it's going to be on this list with Sunshine and Treasure Tracker.
Sunshine shouldn't even be on this list.
Yeah.
That's such a bad game.
Which game?
Sunshine.
Sunshine.
Oh, come on. A bad game. Oh, yeah. What about Wario World? Wario World's more of a 3D platformer. Yeah, it says all of them. Oh, it's all of them. Wario World. Ha! They were right. You can't spell ignorant without normant.
That's right. Well done. Well said.
Wait, normant. No. Ignorant.
Yeah, you got it. Let's go. Continue.
Thank you. I did it.
All right. Let's see here from Antonio Morales. I didn't feel that the Nintendo Switch 2 lag until Mario Strikers drop. Holy F, they need to do something about that. Penis. Yeah, hopefully they fix that stuff up.
Yeah, it's funny because like it didn't bother me in Soul Calibur at all. I didn't really notice it in F-Zero. It is weird the games where you notice all of a sudden. I don't know why Wind Waker was when all of a sudden all the problems with the emulation were really hitting me.
Yeah. Screaming Madden, who's more canceled? Mike with his English moment in Germany, or Dan mistaking Eye Patch Wolf for being from the UK? Peanuts.
From London specifically,
that is
believe.
insane.
Yeah.
He had a podcast with Daniel Dwyer for years.
Did you see the comment on Instagram? This got posted, and all of Dan's friends are commenting on it and saying things like Mike Mahardy, who said, I have had 15 separate conversations with Dan in the past year about moving to Ireland and getting my Irish citizenship and how that's good, specifically because it's not part of the UK, so I can travel throughout Europe. He's like, I've told him this 15 times.
Oh, he doesn't remember.
Of course he does. But that's what he made a big point about how it wasn't about not remembering. He was never taught any of this about Ireland. And it's like, oh, Dan.
Well, that's what he always says. That's the thing with the mustard. Like, nobody just told me what mustard tasted like.
Yep.
Then I would have tried it. What a lie. Yeah, well, I'm not a country scientist.
Did you saw that I put I replied to that short that Sean did, and I said Dan is weird and Mike is getting like 50 likes. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, people thought it was weirder for a little bit in that episode because I had a desk I haven't built. The Dan came to my rescue real quick.
Mike's was a faux pas. Dan's was like spitting into the eye of an entire country. That was rough stuff. Oh, I was not happy with him.
I guess I should take what I got there. I don't even know if what I did was a faux pas. I just misunderstood the situation.
It was only a faux pas because, you didn't realize what you were doing. It's not like you were doing it deliberately, but it was a faux pas because other people were like, oh, don't do that, Mike. That's all I mean. Yeah. Taco Belmont says, if we can get Iggy's Wrecking Balls on NSO, we can get anything. I, for one, hope we can get Resident Evil 2 with the randomizer, Pingus.
That'd be fun.
They have like all those like special versions of games that they used to do. Do they still do that? Like
they
Super
only ever
Nintendo?
did that for like NES and SNES. I think
Yeah.
they gave up on that.
I get it.
I mean, I didn't play those. I thought it was kind of a silly gimmick, so I don't think we're having that. But boy, there are so many like N64 games that are third party, kind of like Glover and like Iggy Ricky Balls that I want on there. You gotta give me Chameleon Twist.
Yeah, Chameleon
We
Twist.
should get
for sure.
Space Station Silicon Valley and Body Harvest. Give me like Sarge's Heroes.
Yeah.
Right? Come on.
L. Grug says, I think Mike and Dan need to form a truce and say Greg Miller is the weird one for having 4 tickets for Superman after already seeing it. Benzini's.
I mean, the man just
That's
likes
not weird.
He just likes Superman.
It's like
A lot.
Superman is like Jesus for nerds,
Yeah,
I mean, instead of having
yeah.
what would Jesus do, it's what would Clark Kent do on like bracelet. So it's okay. It's his church. Let it go to church.
Chris Pratt is a new member to the Lincoln tier. Shouts
Whoa,
out to
Chris Pratt subscribed. He must really like what we do here.
Yeah, shouts out to Chris Pratt. B. Traven says, if you have to guess, will one more as of now unannounced big first-party Nintendo game come out this year? Will one more as of now unannounced big party? Yeah, big first-party.
Yeah.
Big is the operative word there. I would say big-ish, like not like top-tier franchise, but like a surprising release. Now we do know there's like Tomodachi Life is coming next year, and they have some other stuff like that they've already announced that's coming to Switch 1. So it's not going to be like even of that level necessarily. I don't know. It's hard to like figure out what this could be at this point. So maybe I should just say no.
I mean, it could be like, like what's big? Is that Fire Emblem Remake big? That's pretty big.
Yeah.
Is Metroid Prime 2 remaster, if that happens, that big enough for you? Maybe that's not big enough for you. So, I'm not expecting anything of like, certainly not of a Bonanza size to go along with what we're already getting. I don't know if we're going to get anything else that's a Kirby Air Riders size, even.
I'm getting excited about Kirby Air Riders. I want to play that.
I liked Kirby Air Rider, but I think when that was announced, everyone was like, "Kirby Air Rider's bad." I'm like, "No, it's not. I like Kirby
that's
Air
a good
Rider."
game. Okay, Gwen the Hunter. I was against the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4's arcade missions rework, but to be honest, now having played it, I prefer it. Jack Black doing a Brit accent in London is immaculate. Yeah, I think most people, once they play this, will be like, I get it. Like, they might also still be a little sore about missing the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4 stuff, but I don't think they will play this game and be like, this was the wrong choice for this particular project. I think it was the right choice.
I think some people think it, but I just don't think anyone's going to play this game and have not unfun with it, right? It's going to be single player, but it's going to be a talking point for a long time from now. Was that the right thing that they did? But when I play the game, I have a lot of fun. I like it a lot.
Are reviews out for that Superman movie? Christian check.
Yeah, it's I can't tell because like with video games, I know what I consider like the baseline for good. With movies, I have no idea. Rotten Tomatoes is kind of weird, and then Metacritic for movie scores.
Metacritic is useless for me. I can't figure it out for movies.
Yeah. It's
Rotten
an 87 on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's
that seems
good.
pretty good.
That's really good.
Seems pretty good.
Yeah. Okay.
That's really good.
Yeah,
okay.
Man, Elio got an 82 and nobody went. I didn't even see that movie. What's wrong with me?
I wanted to see Elio, but it was kind of synced up with our vacation, and now it's feels like we missed it or something. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe
I do want to see the new Superman. Yeah, I'll say this about Greg Miller, right? He really liked Man of Steel, which maybe that's not accounting for taste, but then he wasn't like one of these people who was weird about the reboot and the new Superman coming in. He was just all ready to be excited about it again. That also.
Yep. Yeah, that's nice. You're right. He's a piece of shit otherwise, though.
Sorry. Yeah. For in Letterboxd, which is the thing I use, he has 3.8, which is super, super high.
Yeah,
so
that's really good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, Greg Miller even liked Batman versus Superman. That's wild. That's wild.
That was like when I would have more time to listen to podcasts. I think I listened to some of their re-reviews that they would do. I might even listen to the original review where they did the director's cut, the Snyder Cut, and it was unhinged, the things he would say about those movies. The guy is...
I'm almost curious.
Yeah, it's kind of worth like getting, if there's a cut down version or if someone has done any highlights, it might be worth trying to find that.
that whole whatever that Snyderverse thing was, it's wild to me that there are people who are like mad it's done.
Yes.
It was just a weird thing. I think like 3 times now I have watched The Flash only through osmosis in a bar when it's on with no sound.
That's the best way to watch it.
That movie haunts me. I think it's freaking weird.
There was a reason why the Snyder fans were calling for a boycott of James Gunn's Superman. I'm trying to remember what it was. It was something very stupid and funny, but
He said he uses the trousers on top of some dumb shit like that.
Something dumb like that. I can't remember exactly.
I saw that they had James Gunn and Zack Snyder voice themselves in the newest episode of Rick and Morty.
That's pretty fun.
I did.
They're making fun of themselves. It's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see here. I will get back.
Oh,
over
wait a
to
second.
the Super
Chalupa
Chats.
Batman says the kind of funny review of Rise of Skywalker had 4 dudes who all liked it, Jeff. Oh, I should make you listen to that. Oh, I should just miss it down.
Okay. You know what? During like Extra Life or whatever, like that could be one of my torture. Since I have to go I have to go into the noobs hole and listen to that podcast and try not to die. Oh.
I do think a lot about like, man, what if I was suddenly at a place where I had to do all these extra movie reviews and things that I don't want to do.
All right.
Here it is. Screencast episode 14.
Oh, man, I might have to try to like listen to it and see how much I could actually survive before. It would probably literally be like a minute at most.
You should live react to that. That's content to me.
Burrito says Descent 1995 mentioned, if the feds ever want to spot me in a crowd, just mention this game and I'll be hooting and hollering. I skipped one. I'll go back to that.
I had a lot of respect for Descent back then. I think I played the demo for Descent a ton. It was always like, too. Always looked pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, Descent 2 also.
It was just like one of those games that was kind of really hyped up for its tech, and it was a different idea. And I don't think it like hit very hard with people once it was out, but I think it was still like a game plenty of people really enjoyed. Chris Zaka with that $100 super chat. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Gwen the Hunter said, and they got Kyle Lamar on the soundtrack. The new soundtrack rocks, to be honest. And this is Tony Hawk's that they're talking about. Hello, Allison Change, Turnstile, Lupe Fiasco, Danny Brown, bangers. I've not had a chance to like really listen to a lot of the soundtrack yet. I was playing kind of late night in bed, and so I had the volume turned down. But I'll listen tonight. Looking forward to playing some.
Yeah,
more.
it's like I get it. Like, oh yeah, it's not a lot of the original stuff in there, but it's all good. Like, it seems like a really good soundtrack to me. I've heard a lot of it, and yeah, I would say things like, oh, Alice in Chains, and Iron Maiden. Like, I think they've had it made before, but they got 2 Minutes to Midnight in this one. And yeah, I just think it's still a very good soundtrack. So again, it's like maybe you're thinking about what's not there, and like that'll bum you out. Like TNT not being there is weird from AC/DC. When I'm like playing the game and listening to the music, it is still all good.
It's Kendrick Lamar, by the way. We need to explain people the inside joke.
Yeah, they're not gonna get the joke.
Yeah, love of God.
Yes, Kendrick Lamar. Nothing, Mike.
Kendrick
Don't worry your pretty little
Mike.
head.
Okay.
JT says, just sending some love everyone's way. Welcome back, Grubb. Mike's a content machine. In case you missed it, a prototype to a Ride to Hell prototype leaked. Route 666. We hope you ride that hog again, Grubb. You fucking keep that shit to yourself, all right? You just shut the fuck up about that. No one tell Dan. Just leave me out of that. I don't think prototypes can count. I don't think we can play prototypes because it's not a bad game.
How could that possibly have happened that they would even start making a sequel to Road to Hell? Like, what are we talking about? I'm looking at this thing now. So weird.
Like it was a European studio, right? I'm like, what? Were they getting government socialist funding? Is this what the problem with socialism everyone's always talking about? Yeah, they could just keep making bad video games. I don't know.
This game's cel-shaded, by the way.
What?
The bureaucracy in this.
Yeah. This game has cel shading.
So cel-shaded pants sex. So like you could have
fully I don't know if there's
sex
pants
scenes.
Sex.
Oh,
yeah, I don't know about pants sex. I mean, it looks just like a really bad kind of road rash sort of situation. I think it's all motorcycle sections. I don't know. I bet it was barely a real game.
Snack Dad in chat says, my wife and I watched all of Ride to Grubb this weekend, and I'm sorry you had to endure that.
That's unhinged.
that just went on and on. That was like lots of time.
That was, yeah. I remember towards the end, we were all like, "Here's this game still." Oh my god, yeah.
Let's see.
I sure hope Dan's game goes well. I gotta be honest, Jeff. I don't know if me and you did a ton of research, like watching the game be played. I don't know.
I haven't done any. I haven't done any, and I like to do some. But this was like, you know what? I could wash my hands of it. This was Mike's idea.
No. We're in it together. We're in it together.
Yeah, I didn't do much. I do like to do some, and I have no idea what to expect, honestly. So
here's our prediction just for us. I think that there might be a little bit of that, but I don't think it's going to be a very long game, actually. I don't think he's going to take forever on this one. I don't know.
Kind of hope so, although I'm up after him, so maybe hopefully it takes forever.
True.
All right. Let's see. The Uncharted Wolf says, "You guys don't get it. Sunshine is incredible. The fun parts are really fun, and the bad parts are really funny. God bless that watermelon." I like Sunshine.
I like Sunshine, but I've always been a Sunshine defender. I defend it a bit less passionately than I once did.
Right.
It's like jazz, brother. It's about the notes you don't listen, bro. It's about how funny it is when it breaks.
I don't think it's not really much of a broken game.
It has broken
like that.
parts to it here and there that people really.
It's definitely. Like I said, I think its deficiency stood out to me more in 3D All Stars when you literally play it in between Mario 64 and Galaxy. Then I finally kind of got it a little bit, but I still think it's a fun game, and I do like the whole island vacation vibe of it.
I like that a ton. All right, and then James MD14 says Hades 2 on Switch is going to be lit. That's all. Yeah, I agree. I'm really looking forward to that. Mike, that does it for the super chats for now. If anyone else sends any more in, I promise to read them before we're done doing this podcast.
He promised everybody you can't break a promise.
Or
else I'll get you.
Oh shoot! All right, Mike. What do we do now?
Let's take. Let's read this super chat just came in. Then we'll take. A break.
Yeah. All right. Hexprof says, "How long into this all digital future will it be until we get an update that is literally just removing licensed music?" It feels like that's probably happened at some point. I don't know.
Well, a lot of these games have these streamer. I mean, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3+4 has a streamer mode, right? You have to build that in.
Didn't it happen with one of the Forza games where like they roll up an update and they took all the music or something like that?
I thought it was something like that, but I was like, it was that. Am I just conflating that with them taking the Forza games down because they have other reasons why they take the Forza games down? So I don't know.
I always have like a complicated. I can't tell my feelings are wrong, but I resent very much that like I can be punished for playing a video game because it had license for music that I didn't necessarily opt into. I'm just trying to like play a game and stream that and make content. I don't know. It doesn't seem fair to me, but I guess I can see why from the musician side it doesn't seem fair to them either. Yeah,
but it's I don't know. The recording industry is so immalleable with that stuff. They're hard asses, and
there's no way that I'm taking any money from anybody because I'm playing Ace of Spades on Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3's in-game soundtrack as I'm playing it and talking over it.
Right. It's like when a song just happens to be playing on the background of a video that has nothing to do with that song, and they're like, well, you can't monetize that. This belongs to us. And it's like, that's not why people are watching this viral video. Hang on, let me deal with this kid.
There, you do that. We'll take a break anyways here. Jeff handles the gimmick. We'll be right back, everybody.
Break. Yeah, they're ghouls. That's the word. Oh yeah, Alan Wake. Yeah, that's right. They did take out the music for the American Nightmare. I think they did that for that game. For that expand alone.
I just want the Subway fire here. I actually go to Arby's. I feel too guilty going to Arby's these days.
If you wanna set up the people's contribution,
let me do that now.
You.
What did she want, Jeff?
Addie needs help with something in Minecraft as they are getting into bed and they're going to play on their devices. And
is she trying to make a computer inside Minecraft?
Yeah, they're using Redstone to create a 16-bit system.
To play Doom?
Yeah, to play Doom and Pokemon on an emulator inside of Minecraft. No, I just told them, just go to bed. All right, let's see. Mute the tab.
I agree with you.
Let's see here.
Catch me if you're down. Dan goes to Bill. Okay.
I got the folder from Jerem for all of the Blight Club stuff. I'll send it to you and Jan.
Great. Exciting. That is loading there. All right, and then let me get a sheet going.
They probably love him up there if he goes to Belfast. Showing that clip.
You're saying they would love him in Belfast? They would love him in Belfast. Yeah. Yes. All right. Let's see here. Well, certain parts of Belfast.
In your head. You put that song in the background.
Oh, this stuff is very good.
All
Oh,
right.
I'm excited for tomorrow.
Can we hire an Irish singer? So they go something.
Sure.
That
Ah.
is going to something like that.
Boy, I'm glad I got bizarrely into European history for like a few months there, so that I didn't
That's
make
beautiful.
Dan's mistake. It could have been me in a different life, Jeff.
Do you know that there were
Couldn't have
multiple
that.
wars up there? It's crazy.
There was one. Yeah.
Well, you mean the Troubles?
One big ass war,
What
and then
else?
there was another one.
How much do you think Dan knows about whales?
Almost no. Like, if you ask that question, he might think you're talking about the animal.
When you visit Wales, I can visit an animal. Scuba dive.
If you ask him what was Princess Diana the princess of, I bet he'll think it's England.
Yes.
Or like-
Yeah.
Which, like, technically,
Yeah.
in a way.
All right. Almost ready. Let me just get
Tomato,
this in
tomato.
All
here.
right, the theme song. You think he knows what's animals on the Welsh flag? I mean, I don't know that, to be fair.
Yeah. No. To be even more fair, I don't care a lot.
No, you don't.
Like, I'm sorry. It's not something I'm thinking about. But like, I'm aware of the Troubles.
When I did that high school trip through the British Isles, that would be the good collective term for all of it.
Yes.
We only went to Wales because we had to get on a
It's a
boat there
dragon,
to
yeah.
go to Ireland.
It's a dragon.
Dragon. Oh,
Okay,
dragon.
well, that's pretty sick.
What do you
Yeah,
call
yeah.
a
They're,
dragon an animal? I mean,
There's a big Welsh community here. They came in like, I don't know, like 100 years ago, and they have a fucking dragon in the middle of the city. It's pretty cool.
Some Irish do love that term, orchid. Just, not most of them. All right, let's see. We're good now. We can bring it back in.
Okay.
all right, we're back. Jeff, Mount Rushmore of rare games, I think, is actually going to be pretty difficult to just get like the 4 most rare games. They've made a lot of not like just very good games, but all their big games, they're so rare, you know what I mean? They have such an identity, that company.
At a certain point, do we just want to like say as many rare games as we can and like just like say whether or not they're Mount Rushmore worthy of contention?
Sure, I like it.
All right.
I'll start first. Cobra Triangle.
All right, no.
Okay, your turn.
Saberwolf.
Shit, I was gonna say Saberwolf.
Saberwolf, I think, is kind of close because like there's arguments to be made that like Nintendo saw Saberwolf before they made Zelda, and they're like, this is a pretty good idea.
Yeah, they almost made a 3D Saberwolf game at some point, or
Yeah.
at least a new one.
I think they ended up making a Game Boy Advance one instead, but yeah.
That's right, they did. That's wild. Okay, Snake, Rattle, and Roll.
Yeah, maybe not. RC Pro-Am?
No. with what's coming.
Sure.
Like, look, if there's going to be one from the NES era, it would be Battletoads. I don't even know about Battletoads.
Yeah, but I'm just going to write down RC Pro-Am because I love RC Pro-Am.
Okay, if you're going to write down RC Pro-Am, you got to write down Battletoads. I do think Battletoads is like... Nintendo definitely already had an appreciation for them, but I think a lot of people were sort of impressed by Battletoads on a technical level. They made the game too hard.
Yes.
And that was bullshit. But technically... a very impressive
Was
NES
the first
game.
time a game kind of like, to me, was like, this kind of looks like a cartoon. This looks like straight up like an animated show in some ways. It was, you're right, very technically impressive. Okay, so probably not. Trying to see some other games from this time. Probably
I'm
not
just going off
RC
of.
Pro Am 2. Well, yeah, you have a memory. I don't. Slalom. I can't say that word. Slalom. There we go.
Probably not slalom.
Yeah.
Slalom.
All right. Well, then I guess let's get to the Super Nintendo era. Donkey Kong Country is
Yes.
going to be up for consideration. Should we just put all three and cut from there?
I
or
think
what?
you could just say Donkey Kong Country 1 in terms of Mount Rushmore. 1 covers all those bases there.
I think so too.
Just fine. That one obviously is going to be heavily considered for sure. It's funny because aside from Donkey Kong Country, I don't think too much about the 16-bit offerings from them. There's Rock and Roll Racing is that even them? Was that them? Yeah, that was them. That was basically the sequel to RC Pro Am. Sometimes
really?
is Rock and Roll Racing them or Blizzard?
I think that's Blizzard.
I think you're right. Shit, that's Blizzard.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Blizzard.
I always got that mixed up. What the hell else did they do on the 16-bit?
Well, hang on. I got a more comprehensive list here. So there's the Slalom, RC Pro Am, Sesame Street 1, 2, 3.
Shit.
Oh, they did California Games for the NES. That's pretty cool. There's Cobra Triangle.
Killer Instinct.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Killer Instinct because I don't know. I never had that much of an affinity for Killer Instinct. I thought that the reboot that they didn't make was much better. I don't want to completely discount it because of all the games that could be called Mortal Kombat clones, it was definitely a lot better than most of them. Right?
Oh,
there was a lot of juice there, actually.
Yeah, but it just still wasn't great. Is the thing. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, especially surrounded by so many other great rare games. I don't need to consider Killer Instinct. I don't. Although it's very rare. And I don't know. I think we could probably get a list of games that when we look at them, be like, okay, now we don't need Killer Instinct. So
I guess there's no way Killer Instinct makes it there. Even Turbo Sean, our fun game expert, says that Killer Instinct 1 and 2 fucking suck. So,
yeah.
What are you gonna do?
all right. So yeah, Killer Instinct. There's Battletoads and Battle Maniacs.
Right, which is not even remembered as well as Battletoads 1.
Yep.
I always liked Battletoads and Double Dragon, but I mean, Battletoads is the one there for that. Just one.
What is the best Ken Griffey baseball game? Did they develop Winning Run? Was that the good one?
I think just Ken Griffey Jr. Baseball was my favorite one. The first one.
Yeah, Winning Run is not. That's 1996. So
yeah, I don't. Yeah. I mean,
yeah, they did not do the original one. Okay, all right.
I think we could probably just get to their N64 output here, which is very significant. This is the heavy stuff here.
I mean, we can go in order there. Blast Corps is the first one, and I love Blast Corps.
I both love Blast Corps and wonder about its Mount Rushmore-ness.
Yes, I think that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a very good game.
I'm gonna put it up there for now.
Okay.
Blast Corps. GoldenEye 007.
Yep. Gotta do that.
Just kind of easy to say that one. It kind of is self-explanatory. Diddy Kong Racing. I like that one a ton as well.
It is very good. And it's funny because in some ways I think they actually outdid Mario Kart that generation.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways.
I mean,
it's gonna be going up against a lot.
Right. Okay, well maybe we don't need it then. Okay, so then Banjo-Kazooie in 1998. Yeah. This is all in a 2-3 year period. This is crazy.
Their output on that console was actually legendary.
Yeah.
I think without Rare, I think that the N64 library is frankly not good enough. I think Rare that's so much there.
Completely fair. Yeah, I think you're right. Jet Force Gemini, a game I think is fun, but not Mount Rushmore worthy.
I think it's very interesting. I actually want to play it pretty badly. I mean, third-person shooters in that pre-Resident Evil 4 world are in such a weird spot already.
Because I think that they each have a different control scheme, and they're all kind of bad.
Yeah. I think there's a lot that's interesting about it. It's not going to be Mount Rushmore, though.
All right. Mickey's Racing Adventure, of course.
Probably not.
Donkey Kong 64.
Yeah, I mean, look, again, I think some of the maligness against that isn't fair. I'm excited to play again, but I don't think it's going to be Mount Rushmore. It's just not as good as Banjo-Kazooie.
I am going to put Perfect Dark up here.
I think it's going to struggle to, because let's be honest, GoldenEye probably going to make it. Do you really do GoldenEye and Perfect Dark? We'll see.
Yep, we'll see. All right, then let's see. Conker's Bad Fur Day, which is kind of an iconic game.
Yeah, I guess I need to try it again. I don't know what it was. I was such an anti 15-year-old Jeff. I played this and I rolled my eyes so hard at it. I bet I probably could appreciate it more now. So I'll leave it up to you if you think it.
I mean, we're gonna consider it. We'll see.
Yeah.
All right, that kind of. I mean, there's Banjo Tooie. We're not gonna do
sounds
that.
good as Banjo Kazooie.
Yeah. All right. So then, looks like we are. And I'm skipping some of the handheld ones. Banjo Kazooie: Grunty's Revenge for the Game Boy Advance, published by THQ. We're good.
I don't think any of their portable efforts are going to be Mount Rushmore worthy.
I mean, look, Donkey Kong Land, best controlling Game Boy game. Like, nothing feels as good on the Game Boy as Donkey Kong Land does. It's incredible how good those games feel.
Donkey Kong 94.
I mean, Donkey Kong 94 is awesome. It has this incredible move set, but Donkey Kong Land just feels like a modern 2D platformer. It's crazy how good it feels. All right, let's get to the original Xbox, grabbed by the Ghoulies.
No, there's just not quite enough juice there, right? It's not a terrible game, but it's just not quite enough.
It's Mr. Pants. It's a Game Boy Advance and mobile phone game.
Yeah, I've heard of It's Mr. Pants. I've heard of that one.
I'm gonna look at this thing. All right, Conquer Live and Reloaded, Donkey Kong Country 3 for the Game Boy. Cameo Elements of Power. Mike, you're a huge defender.
I'm about defender of it. I think AJ's a bigger defender.
Yeah.
There's something there. It's a very much a rare game. I just am so impressed that there were 2 rare games for the launch of the Xbox 360. I think it's the closest. I think it's the most. This feels like a Nintendo game that Rare made in its Xbox era in a lot of ways, but probably not Mount Rushmore. Really, not that. It's a great 7 from them.
Yeah. People are yelling at me for skipping Star Fox Adventures.
Yeah, I guess you did skip that. Look, I don't think that's a bad game at all. I also want to play that again. I think Mount Rushmore is going to be a pretty tall order for Star Fox Adventures.
And it is no Viva Pinata, which...
Viva Pinata is, actually great. Actually pretty good.
Fantastic game.
I mean, spoilers here for a couple of other things coming from them, but I think it's definitely their best post-Nintendo game, right?
I think that's right, yes. Well, you know what? I really ended up liking Sea of Thieves a ton, but I would still probably take Viva Pinata.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Perfect Dark Zero.
Nah,
definitely.
I think it's interesting. I really want to play that again because that game was hyped. I think all the time about that MTV special hosted by Elijah Wood, hyping up the launch of the 360. He's like, and now for the first time ever, people are gonna play Perfect Dark multiplayer, and you're gonna see it. And it was like, oh my god, this is the next Halo, and it was not the next Halo.
It was definitely not. Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts, really good game, much better than its reputation.
It got reconsidered pretty heavily there, and it seems like it deserves it, but still,
Mount Rushmore, not the Banjo-Kazooie that's going to go up there, yeah. And then 2013 Killer Instinct, they are uncredited for a reason there. They didn't make that game. Let's see here, Rare Replay, no. Sea of Thieves, what do we do with Sea of Thieves? Because that's probably in consideration, right?
It should be considered. As far as we know, could be the last Rare game. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, Everwild got canceled. It seems like it never really super got off the ground. Who knows if they're going to be allowed to make a new game here, if they're just kind of on the Sea of Thieves treadmill for a while. You'd hope there's something else, but I don't know. It might just be that.
Yeah, I got a list of canceled games here, upon which recently was added Everwild. All right, so the list I have right now is RC Pro-Am, Battletoads, Donkey Kong Country, Blast Corps, GoldenEye 007, Banjo-Kazooie, Perfect Dark, Conker's Bad Fur Day, Viva Pinata, and Sea of Thieves. I feel like this is already going to be a kind of a tough list to narrow down from this point. I don't know, maybe not, but are we missing anything, Mike?
I think the 4 are in there somewhere.
All right, cool.
Unless you wanted to do their weird Connect games, which I would rather we not.
Yeah, I'd rather we not as well. Okay, while we are figuring that out.
While you're doing that, I will say, people are saying Donkey Kong Country 2. Again, in terms of Mount Rushmore, I think Donkey Kong Country 1 is the most, Mount Rushmore is a combination of quality and iconicness. And Donkey Kong Country 2 I think it's better than 1. For sure. Oh, look, see, we got some suggestions.
Yeah, I was going to kind of just scroll through them since we kind of went through everything. People can kind of see what the chat was thinking and our podcast producers. Super Glove Ball was rare. That's the one Power Glove game I could kind of get working with the Power Glove was Super Glove Ball.
Incredible. Okay. There's the Great Mighty Pooh.
The Great Mighty Pooh, yeah, published by Mattel. Yeah. Everyone loves Crystal. See if these nuts fit in your mouth. Okay. Yeah. Pretty. Oh, did they make the thing for the Nintendo World Championships? The 1990 cartridge.
That would be an interesting piece of trivia there if they just put that together.
Yeah,
John Elway's quarterback. Huh.
Mickey's Adventure Racing. All right, cool. There you go, everybody. Perfect Dark for Game Boy Color. I bet that game's
What the heck
better.
is that even like?
I'm sure it's like Daikatana or whatever. But, okay, yeah,
Man,
look it up.
I love that weird era of Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance remakes of console games, man. Because there's that Conker's Game Boy Color game that was from before the reboot of it.
Conker and the Mystical Nuts or whatever, yeah.
Right.
All
right.
my
God, it's like a Metal Gear. It's like a Metal Gear, but also kind of like that Rambo 3 game for the Genesis.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna see this.
What the? Oh my God. Do I want to play Perfect Dark Game Boy Color? Jesus. Okay.
Hey. Next Mega Man.
I was about to say, Jeff, they haven't announced the new Mega Man.
I love it. I love it so much.
That name's confusing.
Love that. 12 Tails. Thank you, Brad Lynch. That's what it was. Conquer 12 Tails. Okay, Mike, I am looking at this list. I think GoldenEye and Donkey Kong Country feel like locks to me, but I don't know.
I think that those are locks. And I think that Perfect Dark is maybe an anti-lock just because I don't think you have that in GoldenEye. I think Perfect Dark is them doing the smart thing of making a sequel to GoldenEye without the James Bond license anymore. But I don't know. GoldenEye's more iconic. I think, I don't know if GoldenEye's better. Do you think more people like GoldenEye than Perfect Dark also, or is that not really
I mean, well, listen, Perfect Dark is technically a better game. GoldenEye goes up on the list. It is more emblematic of Rare. It is a good game, even relative to Perfect Dark still. Like, it's still good. It has its own charms. The Bond license goes a long way. They figured a lot of stuff out with that game, and Perfect Dark built on top of it. But no, clearly it's GoldenEye.
Man, I was never a big Perfect Dark guy, but I'm bummed out we're not going to get that game. They really sold me on it with that last trailer showing all the Mirror's Edge influence there, and then just nothing. I guess my thing with Perfect Dark, Jeff, is I don't love that it has like the sci-fi twist to it, and then you have like the generic Roswell alien person thing there.
Yeah,
I guess I would get over it.
Yeah, that wasn't my favorite. I love the Blade Runner neon streetlights in the rain level. Like, that was my like, that's kind of stuff I was into.
Yeah, exactly. I think I want more Blade Runner, less Mars attacks. I don't know.
Yeah.
Call it.
All right, so then we have RC Pro-Am, Battletoads, Blast Corps, Banjo-Kazooie, Conker's Bad Fur Day, Viva Pinata, and Sea of Thieves. I'm looking at this, and I think I kind of have like where I'm leaning, Mike, which is Banjo-Kazooie and Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves we can maybe argue about. I think Banjo-Kazooie is also a lock. Okay. I think if you say Rare, that's actually the first thing I think of. Even before Donkey Kong Country GoldenEye, there's just something so rare about Banjo-Kazooie. The fact that that game stood out so much on the N64, where Mario 64 was king, is impressive. There's still such a clamor for Banjo-Kazooie. It's like that. What's like one of those franchises that's gone that absolutely should come back, and I'm shocked that they haven't. Did you see that weird rumor that like, oh, they've reached out to some people to make a new Banjo-Kazooie, including Moon Studios? What? I'm like, what are you talking about?
I mean, is it going to be Studios? Like that Battletoads D-La-La game? Is that what we're going to end up with for Banjo, or it's like a very...
Yeah, but at least like Battletoads was one of those at one point. There was never a 2D Banjo. And also, I don't think Microsoft wants to work with Moon Studios. So
No, they do not want to work with them. That's clearly what happened there, is they're done working with them.
That seems like Philly to me. So, yes, and I do think you do need something to represent the post-Nintendo era here. And part of me is like, well, do you do Viva Pinata because it's really good?
Yeah, and very rare. Like, it's a very rare kind of game.
Yeah. That's the thing with Sea of Thieves, is that the rareness of it It's there,
It is.
but it's a little minimal to me. It doesn't, right?
I mean,
It's like
not
so
the
clearly
star.
a new company.
It's not the star of the game, but it's also still clearly a rare game in terms of art design and like the way that like the characters interact, where they're just like eating bananas with the peel still on and playing instruments and getting drunk and puking like in a Conquer game. I don't know. I really could go for either one of these. I think I personally prefer Viva Pinata. I think that's a fantastic game, but I don't know.
Yeah, it is. It's difficult. I don't know. It's not that I resent Sea of Thieves. I like Sea of Thieves quite a lot, and they did do a good job supporting it. I guess I always wish there was like a little something more to Sea of Thieves. I don't know if I'm just so MMO brain that I need it like a little bit more of that element to it.
You know, I was always like, yeah, they're gonna have to do something, and then I discovered like there's a massive Sea of Thieves scene of people who just do that game, and they kind of just go play it the way it was built, and they do it for hundreds of hours. And I know some people personally that have played thousands of hours of Sea of Thieves, and it's just like, okay, so clearly this is working for some people. I just am surprised to find that is the case. Yeah, so the fact that they never did that was again a little surprising. But it's worked for that game, and I kind of respect it at this point more than anything else.
Viva Pinata had a cartoon show.
Yes, it did. It was like a handful of episodes too, right? Like,
yeah, I hated looking at it, but it did have one.
Well, let's just do RC Pro-Am and call it a day.
Nah, isometric racer. Are you crazy? What's this biker mice from Mars? I don't want to hear of it.
I love RC Pro-Am, but yeah, we'll move that down to Perfect Dark. Okay, the other ones that are still on the list: Battletoads, Blast Corps, Conquer's Bad Fur Day. Probably not going to be any of those.
Christian, can you run a poll? I'm curious what chat thinks between Viva Pinata and Sea of Thieves.
Okay.
I think I lean Viva Pinata, but I understand the Sea of Thieves argument.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm at as well. Like, I mean, and I'd be happy to put Viva Pinata up there.
Someone in the chat says like, well, you don't have new presidents on Mount Rushmore. Like, that's like, let's just go with that excuse to not do Sea of Thieves. Maybe.
And Sea of Thieves is like getting kind of old at this point, right? Like, it's more than 5 years old at least.
I mean, they did the Pirates of the Caribbean collab. They did the Monkey Island collab. That was really cool. They did that. Gosh, is Sea of Thieves gonna be one of these games that like we just won't ever be able to play again at some point?
Yeah, probably.
That's kind of weird.
Poll is up.
Stop killing
Poll
games.
is up. So everyone vote quickly on that.
All right, so it's coming in, and Viva Pinata is out to an early lead, but let's see if that holds.
It's slowly losing that lead. It's getting it back.
It's like 38 to 62, 39 to 61. All right, yeah, it's kind of getting a little bit closer now. 42 to 58% for Viva Pinata.
Stop this! It's close-ish, but I think Viva Pinata has it unless something really dramatic here happens.
Well, I mean, either way, it's like even if it was like close in the other direction, I'd be like, well, that's close enough for us to go with the game we're kind of leaning toward anyhow.
Yeah, but I do feel like this is just a little bit of permission I needed to say, let's go Viva Pinata.
All right, Viva Pinata is going up. Sea of Thieves.
There you go.
They don't put new presents on the Mount Rushmore, so there you go. All right, our Mount Rushmore of rare limited games is Donkey Kong Country, GoldenEye 007, Banjo-Kazooie, and Viva Pinata. Sound right to you, Mike?
Yeah, although there's a part of me that like looks, it's like, oh no, an NES game should Battletoads be there instead of Viva Pinata? And I don't know. Maybe it's a bit boomery. Battletoads was important for a bit there.
Oh
though,
yeah,
right?
Absolutely, yeah. But I
kind of went away.
Kind of feel like Rare's George Washington somehow is still Donkey Kong Country, despite all of its NES success.
Yeah. You know what? Chat actually seems to like the list, so let's not change it.
There we go.
They actually seem happy for what's with that. So, yeah, I bet they would be unhappy if I put Battletoads in there for sure.
Yeah, I don't think they would love that one, no.
Yeah.
All right, Mike, I'll hand the show back over to you now, and you can do what you need to do. Get us to a break or whatever.
Yeah, let's just take a break. We'll come back. We'll finish up any super chats that snuck in. Talk about anything we've been playing. So, yeah, we'll be right back, everyone.
This is a commercial break. Please remain seated. Enjoy those ads through your eyes and ears. I don't know, somewhere else. Whatever you want to do.
I guess I'm excited. Has Kind of Funny put out their review for the new Superman yet? I guess the embargo's just up. I bet it went up like just now.
They
I
send them
don't
out
know.
to an early screening. You
Probably.
would think
Probably.
So. You would think
I
so.
would assume so. They should.
Maybe weird if they didn't.
I watched their Jurassic World, the latest one review, and that seems like a bad movie.
Yeah, no one
Still
seems to
made
like
$1 zillion.
it. Okay. Cool.
Greg Way.
Good over here. Oh, let me get this shit off the screen.
Here he is. Yeah, he did a Greg Way Superman review.
Okay.
It's just him. It's members only. That's right, baby.
You gotta pay up.
I am a
Paid up.
Patreon
Hell
member,
yeah.
so I'll listen to it on there.
Oh.
They have KF in review on Thursday. Okay, cool. I'll listen to it then.
Oh,
All right.
right. I did hear that. I forgot.
I'm good over here,
All right.
Mike. Whenever you're ready.
What do you want to do, Mike?
I want to get back into the show.
All right,
Say shakes up.
let's do it then.
All right, we're back, Jeff. I understand you were playing a lot of Rygar on NSO. I really respect just going into NSO, picking some old game and playing through it. Were you using? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I was very happy. I was in the mood. I had the Switch. I booted it up. Was like, let's just pick a game and see if we can beat one of these because that's what I want to do with my summer vacation here. And it was awesome.
Were you using save states or anything like that?
I used the rewind. Yeah, the thing about Rygar is it has checkpoints. So when you die, and it has unlimited lives, so you can brute force it regardless. And like having this rewind was just like, well, I'm just gonna make that process a little bit faster. So yeah, I didn't even get fully powered up though. I noticed I was like thinking that would happen naturally. And I was kind of looking at a guide to get an idea of like where some stuff was because it could be a little obtuse. And the guy, when I was looking at the guy, it was a YouTube guide. When he was at a certain point, he just had full health and was one-shotting a lot of the enemies I was still struggling with. I had a room where I'm like, oh, I would never be able to beat this without like really struggling if I wasn't using rewind. And then I watched him play and he was one-shotting all these guys that I was really struggling with. So I'm like, okay, so I didn't even take advantage of the full power here. But yeah, it's just a really solid NES game where having the upgradable character by killing enough enemies, you get the XP, you get more powerful attacks, and you get more HP hits. And it's like, yep, that's enough here for a game like this to feel more robust than its arcade counterpart. And then throwing this shield on a chain thing feels good, looks cool. I'm into it, and it's got a lot of weird character design, like the buff, bald guys with the beards that tell you everything. That have the hint system, but I liked all of it, and it's got a pretty banging soundtrack as well. So yeah, just really was into Rygar, and now I'm in the mood to go check out Rygar for PS2. Although I was gonna play it on my Steam Deck, and my Steam Deck's broken, so I'm gonna have to get that fixed up instead. So yeah, good game though.
The game has top-down segments too, right?
Yeah, I was surprised by it. It was you kind of start with a 2D look pretty similar to the arcade game, and then very quickly it like opens up, and then you are like in this mountain area with a bunch of doors, and it kind of takes you to these top-down segments. It's almost like an overworld kind of thing that like takes you to other levels and things like that. So and I'm trying to think of like.
It's like anti-Blaster Master, where the levels are the 2D sections, and then the overworld's the top-down section. Yeah,
and it's cool because like the enemies are the same from the side-scrolling versus top-down, so you have to like redo the artwork from like looking at them from the top. So the little turtle that runs at you from the side suddenly is like this massive turtle now that you're looking down on it. So I was like trying to think of a game that it like reminded me of in terms of how it played. I guess Ikari Warriors. You remember that game? The sort of
I remember Ikari Warriors.
It kind of looks like that a little bit. I guess it doesn't really feel like that, but yeah, it reminded me of that. Yeah, it's a cool game. One that I definitely, if like people are like, hey, I want to go back to the NES and like find some games that feel like real video games. Rygar definitely is on that list.
Anything else you're doing Nintendo Wii?
Just playing. I didn't talk about in the Bombcast, and I meant to. Survival Kids is a game that I'm like surprisingly into. I'm looking at like the reviews. I guess I didn't read too many of the reviews. I glanced at the Open Critic, and it was like in the 60s on there. And it's like this game is definitely better than that. The complaints though are all fair. The complaints about the game is it's pretty repetitive. But in terms of how it's structured, it's kind of working for me. So It's a game with survival elements in it, and that means you are just going into these segmented worlds, and you just got to complete a few goals. And the goals are all like, okay, you need to find your boat and repair it and get back on the sea. And that's all done by, there's a bucket, and the bucket says, hey, to be able to build this thing, you got to put in 4 pieces of chopped wood, 1 uncut log, and then a rock, and maybe 1 other special thing. And you just go around and you chop stuff down. It's kind of feels like any other survival game in that way, but it's really snappy, really fast, and it just is like simple. And I'm enjoying doing those tasks. It has a multiplayer mode. I bet that is like dead easy because it's pretty easy in single player. So I think having other people to like split these tasks up among would trivialize everything, but I'm still kind of curious to check it out. In terms of Switch 2 exclusives, though, I feel like this is one that will be reassessed later on. Be like, hey, that wasn't so bad. That's definitely a game worth playing. But in this moment, as you get a new device, and it's like, I think it's probably like $60 for this game because it is like a Switch 2 exclusive. It's a hard pill to swallow. I get that, but I'm enjoying it.
All right. I've been making my way through that Splatoon 2 Octo expansion, getting close to
You'd already done 3 at this point, right? I've
done.
Right, okay.
Yeah, my order was weird. It was base campaign 3, then base campaign 2, and now Octo expansion. So I would have side order after this. I could feel myself maybe needing a smidge of a Splatoon break.
You're gonna get Donkey Kong to break that up here really, really
right,
fast.
Exactly. Like I'm not sure, but I could maybe beat Octo expansion tonight, and then maybe I'll just maybe I will get Fantasy Life I on my Switch 2 and carry over my progress there because I was enjoying that. I was playing that on PC on the Monday night show Mega Man that we do on Giant Bomb, and I would like to. That just seems like it'd be a good Switch 2 game. I wonder how it runs, because it was a little weird. I don't know if it was a setting problem or what, but it felt like that game, which is not like some graphically intense game. It felt like that game didn't run amazing on my computer with its 5080.
Yeah,
and it was even like
that's
at
odd.
1080p. And I was like, what's going on here? It was never so bad that it was like some big problem, but something felt weird about the way that game was looking and running.
That's definitely odd. I wondered if there's just something happening there with your system in that game. I don't know, but I've heard that it runs just fine on the Switch too. So yeah, maybe play it there and that'll be fine. But I was enjoying Fantasy Life I. It's I gave you advice that I was given after I'd already started the game, which is start with a combat class. So I'm still running around, and anytime I see an enemy, I got to use a stupid stick. And I'm like, okay, I wish I would have done that, but I'm stuck on this angler class until I could try something else. Now I can do that, and I am going to do, I think I'm the archer, I think is one of them. You did a mage or something? How is that?
Mage seems pretty good. Seems pretty good. I feel pretty powerful because I have like an AoE spell that I can do too. So that's nice, and just seems like I'll get a healing spell eventually. So right now I just have mage, and I do have angler, right? Because I want to. Right. It seems like you may as well just learn all of the crafting and gathering jobs right away, because you do just sort of switch to those when you like go up to a tree to chop it down, you go up to a fish. Then combat, maybe you do only need one of those, and you can specialize in that. Yeah, that makes sense. I heard you say that the game opens up a lot, which is something you were told or kind of noticed a little bit as you started. I'm interested to see how much it opens up, but it's a game now that I'm like kind of finishing up Survival Kids. Like I might go back to Fantasy Life and continue there. I'm in the mood for some pleasant summer, like easy sitting games. It's like right now there's like the smidge of the hand holdingness and kind of quest trees and things like that. I want to see the game get to that point, like in Animal Crossing, where it's like, all right, just go like play the game. Like you need to give this person 10,000 gold, but you figure out how to do that. That kind of stuff I'm interested in. I like that. Yes, just kind of feeling like I have options, because then I just feel like I'm in control of my destiny, and it makes everything I do feel just slightly more important. Yeah, I enjoyed that a lot. Anything else you've been playing? That's about it. Why don't we read the rest of these super chats and we'll get out of here? All right, sounds good. Let me get back over to the list there. We're at Lex. Yeah, we're at Lex. Okay, let me scroll down here. Lex Luddy. Catch Me If You Dan 2. Dan goes to Belfast. What if we send him to Dublin instead? He might never come back. So maybe you're right. Let's send him to Belfast. Yeah, though I liked Dublin. I wanted to go to that Captain America's restaurant. I was so excited. I went on. I bet Wolf knew about the Captain Americas I was talking about.
Dublin is. I learned this recently. Dublin is Irish for Blackpool, and that's why it's called Blackpool Combat Club, because that's what Dublin means.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, so maybe this is like an embarrassing thing. I didn't realize that those were supposed to be the same place.
Yeah, it's the same place. I mean, I didn't either. Like, I wish I knew more about Ireland than I do. Like, I'm much more aware than Dan is, but I don't know. Country I enjoy. Chuck Towski.
Wait, no, Blackpool is a city in northern England. Says plain bad.
Oh, is that what that? Okay, Dublin does mean Blackpool, I think, but I wondered. Okay, so it must be a different place as well. Fair enough.
All sorts of Blackpools.
Let's see, Chuck Towski says that shirt is crazy. It must have cost $450, like all your per diem for lunches. My wife made the same joke today. The patterns on that shirt are so complicated. Yeah, and she went up to me and started doing the thing. That's I think you should leave reference. Hexprof says, you say dragons aren't animals, so unicorns aren't animals? Then how is the unicorn the national animal of Scotland? Ergo, dragons are animals. Mike, you're the one that had a big problem with this. I don't know.
I'm sorry. I thought I didn't believe you, but I had to look up your thing about Dublin. It is correct. The literal translation for Dublin is Blackpool. Everybody, don't cancel Jeff.
Yeah. And then, like I say, there's a lot of Blackpools. It's confusing. It's like the British Isles, Springfield is Blackpool apparently.
Yeah. Wait, unicorn can't be the national animal of Scotland. You guys have real animals? You got plenty of them, right?
Maybe these used to be real animals, and they're actually the reason we don't have anymore. Is these countries kill them all.
I tried to convince Dan, the person who doesn't know where Ireland is, that dragons are real, and he was insulted. So I don't know.
Why would they pick a real animal when they can pick whatever the fuck they want?
I mean,
pick a dragon.
Another good point.
I mean, nobody would pick a fake flower as their national flower, right? Like, nobody's national flower is the fire flower from Mario.
Why not?
Maybe it should be.
Yeah, exactly.
I just don't know about just like there's so many animals right now. Give one of them a day in their sun, right? How would you feel if you were an animal in Ireland? You were a plentiful animal, and you're like, oh, they're gonna pick the national animal. I hope it's us. If not us, hopefully it's at least Bob. Bob's a nice guy. He deserves this. You find out they pick a fucking dragon. It's not even real. They pass you up for a fake dragon.
I mean, why didn't you evolve into something that looked like a dragon and it was cool looking? There you go.
Because flight and mass is a tremendous waste of evolutionary resources and energy. It's not very efficient. That's why birds, when they fly to islands without predators, they all lose the ability to fly.
Anyway, last super chat. Cupcakeable says love from Blackpool.
Thanks, Cupcake.
Thank you, Cupcakeable. All right. That does do it for the super chats, though, Mike.
Wait a second, I'm sorry. Ryan Osborne in chat said, hear Mike stick up for animals is like hearing MAGA talk about their love of law.
Oh, well, that's pretty good.
Good stuff here. I think we did it. Yeah, I'm not gonna read that one. We did our job there, everybody. Yeah, I know what you're laughing at. Should we get out of here?
I hit the music. Let's
there
do
we
it.
go. Thank you, everybody. Really do appreciate that. Check out that Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3+4 quick look.
Yeah, it was fun.
I played a PS5, but Dan seemed to think that the Switch 2 version was pretty good, actually. So
I've heard good things about it, and there's no reason it shouldn't run well. Because there's no reason to like update the visual fidelity much over 1+2. So yeah, and they got that one running barely on Switch 1. So I bet Switch 2 version of 3+4 is good.
Fantastic. Over on GiantBomb.com. We also had our recent Bombcast, which was a fun time. There is a demo derby coming out soon. I assume we're dumped. Oh, no, tomorrow's Bike Club. Yeah, new season of Bike Club tomorrow, everybody. And Dump Truck on Thursday for sure. Lots of fun stuff happening. We're going to be doing some kind of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater race Friday as well.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that because it's going to be hard for me. Bye, everybody!
You're the best one of us at Tony Hawk. Are you afraid of failure?
Not finding shit.
I'm pretty good at that. Just do score goals, right? You don't have to do all the goals.
Yeah, you're right. That's a good point.
I have to poop.
You turn that bad
A
boy
penis?
on, and out it comes.
You guys time that?
Those are great liquid explosions. A lot of cores going into slots.